Juicy Killer Monster. Today we are going to try and do the news. A new thing we want to do. Let's have a look. Top messages. Yep, just setting up. Hope everyone's all right. You're all on your way to work. We're looking at adding this to the channel where I can read today's news, all the latest subjects, and give you guys a chance to interact with the news that I'm reading. I'll be reading an article, and then anyone that comments, anyone that takes part, I shall answer any of your comments afterwards. We've got two people out there. Hello, how are you doing? Good morning. This is your very relaxed news report. So, this is the first live stream we're doing, like I say, and it should hopefully upload as a video afterwards. So anyone that missed it can see it during the day. So let's get in with the first story of the day. The doorstep murder that remains one of Britain's longest running unsolved cases. Even the brightest and most seasoned detectives have been baffled by the fact a gunman carried out such a brutal execution in a sleepy Highland town before vanishing into the night, never to be caught. It's a bit scary, isn't it? Imagine being 4 years old. 1 minute your dad is reading you a bedtime story, the next he is lying on your doorstep of your family home, drawing his final breaths. Terrible. Blood is seeping from bullet wounds to his face and body, pooling in the hallway, while the innocent eyes of a young boy gazed from the nearby staircase, unable to comprehend he was witnessing an event that would change his life forever. He says he still gets the image of his dad in his nightmares. Imagine being a young kid and seeing your parent killed like that. It's horrible. Andrew Wilson, now aged 24, says he relives the childhood horror that he experienced 2 decades on from the gangland style attack that killed his father, Alistair. Andrew is quiet as he shows me a picture of him and his bank manager dad taken hours before the fatal evening of 28th of November 2004. So it's 20 years ago. Goes on to say he's got pictures, and it says the gunman vanished into the night. The contrast between the family fun on the Sunday afternoon with the brutal violence that would follow the same day is eerie. The murder of Alistair Wilson is one of Britain's longest running unsolved cases. Even the brightest and most seasoned detectives have been baffled by the fact a gunman carried out such a brutal execution in a sleepy Highland town before vanishing in the night, never to be caught. That's absolutely terrible, isn't it? Poor lad. So he's 4 years old, at home with his dad. Yeah, 4 years old, at home with his dad. And a gunman comes in and shoots him. And he sees him at 4 years old. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. Right, let's see what other stories we got today. Hope you're all having a good day. Let's have a look at the Greg Wallace comment, shall we? So, for those that don't know, Greg Wallace is the guy from MasterChef. And more stuff is happening. He put a statement out the other day. Said, Greg Wallace comment left me crying with humiliation, former MasterChef contestant claims. Jackie Kearney appeared on MasterChef in 2011 and later returned as a guest judge. She says Greg Wallace made sexual innuendos constantly and that crew members would have heard him. Warning, this story includes offensive comments of a sexual nature. It's not looking good, is it? It's not looking good. A former MasterChef contestant has told Sky News that Greg Wallace made innuendos constantly during filming and was heard by crew members, and that one sexually inappropriate comment left her in tears. Jackie Kearney is now a chef and recipe book author, finished 4th in the BBC cooking show in 2011, and later returns as a guest judge. Following the rise of the hashtag #MeToo movement in 2017, she told Sky correspondent Ashna Hrunyeg she felt it was only a matter of time before claims of Wallace's alleged inappropriate comments emerged. She said she had been troubled by his household favourite status over the years as she felt he was a bit of a sleaze behind closed doors. Hello, Ren. How you doing? I'm reading the news today, mate, and this is going to be a regular thing. So we're talking about Greg Wallace at the moment, you know, the MasterChef guy. So Wallace, 60, has stepped away from hosting MasterChef while allegations he made sexual comments towards staff and celebrity guests on a range of programs over 17 years are investigators. His lawyers have said it is entirely false that he engaged in behaviour of a sexually harassing nature. Good morning, chop chop, busy work, work, bang bang. During her time on the show, Kearney said the presenter would make sexual innuendos about women when they weren't in earshot as well as in front of them. She said there were several times that he would comment on my legs or comment on the skirts I was wearing. He made a comment once, if I'd known you had legs like that, maybe you'd have made it further. I mean, that is just sleaze, isn't it? That is absolute sleaze.
That is sleaze.
I mean,
sleazeball.
Obviously, yeah, I'm your news reporter.
Hi, Ren.
So, obviously, we don't know what's been said or what's not been said, but this is what people are actually saying. You know, and apparently I've heard on other news that he's telling contestants that he's met, I think it was Kirsty Allstott. Ren says hello, Liz.
Hello.
I think it was Kirsty Allstott, the Channel 4 presenter, that he literally met her for 10-15 minutes. Hi, Declan. And he was telling her about lewd sex acts him and his wife like to do every morning. And after he just speaking to her.
Creepy,
do you know what I mean?
Old man.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Hi, Pete. You all right, mate? Adventures in a Ute. Welcome to today's news. So, carry on. In 2015, Declan says, can I be a mod? Yes, you can, Declan. Probably not for today because I haven't got Hannah to help me set it up. And she's a tech wizard and I'm not.
Nor am I.
So, in 2015, Kearney published the first in a series of books about vegan food following the publication of her second in 2017. She returned to MasterChef as a guest judge and said she wanted to give Wallace and his co-presenter John Turode a copy. I was feeling proud of it, she said. John, as ever, was a complete gentleman. Wallace was in the middle of filming, she said, in the studio having his makeup retouched when she approached him. There was crew everywhere and he was mic'd up, she said. I came into the studio and was like, hi, Greg, I've got something for you. And he said, oh, is it a present for my COCK? What? Nobody said anything. So if you just joined us, this is the Greg Wallace story, the guy from MasterChef. Kearney said that she was so shocked that he stopped still. I felt like I wanted the ground to swallow me up, the humiliation and embarrassment. But it wasn't just about what he said. I felt so humiliated. I felt so stupid. She said she walked away as quickly as possible, went to the toilets and cried. The tears were about feeling humiliated, feeling small, feeling made to feel less than. I also went around the day hating what I was wearing because he'd already commented on my legs earlier in the day. Kearney thought someone on the crew might speak to her afterwards. As I came out of the toilets, I thought maybe someone would come up to me and ask me, you know, are you okay? Nobody said anything. So these are separate accounts coming from separate women. And they all seem to be off the MasterChef show. You know, Wallace said that the other day, didn't he? He said, oh, it's 13 women, all of a certain age, middle age, blah, blah, blah. Didn't do himself no favours then. And now they're coming forward with their stuff.
He's a typical guy that doesn't know what to say at the right time and how to say it.
So TK Peter says, who waits 14 years to make a complaint? If you have a complaint about someone, you make it there and then.
Yeah.
Yes, I know what you're saying. Why does someone wait 14 years to make a complaint? But
maybe it wasn't the right time then, you know?
Yeah, maybe, you know, maybe they didn't feel comfortable making a complaint there. Maybe they thought it would ruin their career because obviously if they're on the show, they want a career off the back of it. You know, she's brought out vegan books and stuff. But it seems all it takes is one or two people to start it. And that's it, mate. Everyone comes out the woodwork, don't they? Ren goes, Juicy Killer Monster, new channel name looks rather unique. What does it mean, though? So, Juicy Killer Monster. So, I'm Justin. Lucy is Lucy, and together that makes Juicy. Killer is slang for great videos, and monster is the size our channel we want to be. Juicy killer monster. There you go, Ren. Chop chop go. There's money to be had, methinks. Greg Wallace ate my hamster. Who was it? It was that comedian that ate the hamster, wasn't it? What was it? What was his name? Oh, you know what I'm talking about, Chop Chop. Hello, Aman. Bought a GoPro 13 yesterday. Pete, Adventures in the U. Yes, we saw, mate.
We were watching it. It was really good.
Oh, Jesus, bloody Christ, right in the ear. Yeah, we saw you, mate, going through Melbourne in your truck. So that was good. But anyway, it sounds cool. Awesome. Thank you, Ren. Right, I'm going to carry on with the story.
I've got toast.
All right, love. So it's my first ever news report, and we've got Hannah's double bed arriving. Guess what? Any time in this news report. So that's fantastic, isn't it? Wicked. How many TV presenters? I'm not saying I'm a TV presenter, by the way. How many news presenters have beds delivered halfway through? So she said there was no way other people did not hear Wallace's innuendos constantly throughout filming, and that it was put down to lad culture and banter.
Yeah.
But if it's just banter and it's fun, then why am I crying in the toilet? Kearney said she was disappointed by the crew, but also in herself for letting it affect her. She believes Wallace created an environment in which its sexually inappropriate comments were normalised in a way that you would expect to see in a 90s lags mad. Okay. Freddie Starr, yes, that was it. Freddie Starr ate my hamster. Do you remember that? It was front page of the Sun, wasn't it? So while many people were aware of his alleged behaviour, it was difficult to speak out about somebody who seems to be very popular, or about a show that is definitely very popular. She said, that's actually really difficult because you feel like you're sticking your head above the parapet. People have got a lot to lose by speaking up. If you speak up against MasterChef, you're going to be dropped by the brand. This goes back to the person who said, why didn't she come out about it 14 years ago? This is what I'm saying. You're going to be dropped by the brand. If you speak out against a popular male presenter, your reputation is one that's going to be dragged through the mud. And I think it's really bad. It's your typical discredit. You know, if anyone makes an allegation or anyone says anything, the first thing people do is try and discredit you as a person. Because if they can discredit you as a person, they can discredit everything you say. And then no one believes you. And it's like, you know, they've only got to say one thing and that's it. And it sticks in people's heads. Ren says, Justin, if you get a right to make one crime legal, what would it be and why? One crime legal?
I know what you'd say.
I think if I could make one crime legal, I wouldn't make any crimes legal because a crime is a crime, you know. But legislation, it would probably be the whole cannabis thing in the UK, because in America you can buy it, sell it, this it, that it, and everything else, and there's people that need real medicinal needs on it for pain and stuff like that, and they get that given to them. In the UK, medically you can get prescribed medical marijuana, but it costs a fortune. I think the government or wherever it is charges you to have a legal cannabis that's grown in the UK. I think they charge you something stupid like 14-20 grand a year to have your legal prescription. So they need to do something about that, because America's got its head switched on with it, I think. Adventures in the Ute says, you'd be amazed what actually goes on TV shows, all covered up. Yeah, you know, it's got to be something in it, mate, because there's loads of people in it. You had Jimmy Savile, you had Rolf Harris, you had Harvey Weinstein. Chop Chop said, if you knew your legs were that good, I would have subscribed and liked earlier. Yeah, here we go. Kearney claims, come from after a former contestant told Sky News the allegations have emerged about Wallace are just the tip of the iceberg. When it comes to MasterChef, claiming he witnessed a toxic environment on set and that the problem was larger than just the presenter. So there's a lot of this stuff going on, mate. A lot of it. There's got to be something in it, guys. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying the man's guilty. I'm not saying he's not guilty. I'm not saying anybody's lying or anything like that. But it's that old thing, innit? You know, there's no smoke without fire. On the flip side of that, you know, if people see an opportunity to make money, they will. But I can't see people going on TV talking about personal things like that. You know what I mean? Really, because they've got their own careers at risk as well. So anyway, and then former celebrity contestant, this is the one, Kirsty Allsop and Emma Kennedy have also spoken out. At the weekend, Wallace issued a defiant response, dismissing his accusers as middle-class women of a certain age. What an idiot. Did you see that? He basically put out a statement saying, oh, he come across like such a posh geezer saying it, yeah? Because, all these claims are just from middle-class women of a certain age. So derogatory. And absolutely made it
just shows what sort of person he is just by saying that. It's highlighting what
it just shows you, mate. It just shows you what his thought process is. So if he's thinking he's up here and he's on a TV show and middle-class women are coming in, he's seeing them as fair game, isn't he? And he's going, oh, well, they're just middle-class women I can use. Well, that's what come across when you said the statement, mate. So I won't be putting out any more statements if I was him. He said, however, he has since apologised for his comments, which were described as completely inappropriate and misogynistic by a spokesperson for the Prime Minister. In a video Monday, Wallace said, I want to apologise for any offence that I caused in my post yesterday and any upset I may have caused to a lot of people.
He needs to stop opening his mouth. Because every time he opens his mouth, he gets himself in trouble.
Gets himself in trouble. He goes, I wasn't in a good head space when I posted it. I get that. You'd be stressed. I've been under a huge amount of stress, a lot of emotion. I felt very alone, under siege yesterday when I posted it.
Guilty.
It's obvious to me I need to take some time out while this investigation is underway. I hope you understand, and I do hope you accept this apology.
He's trying to look like that he's the victim now. He's trying to manipulate everything.
Yeah. TV chef Tom Kerridge has also commented on the allegations, telling Sky's News Politics Hub with Sophie Ridge that he has known Wallace to always be full of jokes. Yeah, but there's jokes, and then there's things wrapped up like a joke that you're saying to actually see if you can get in there, like, you know what I mean? Not good. He said he's always full of charisma, and front of the camera, charisma is always something that continues into off screen as well. So if you're just joining us, this is our first live stream news report. We're going to try to do them every morning, talk about today's latest news, where you guys get to interact in the messages, any questions about it, and it's a good way for you guys to hear the news, so you haven't got to buy a newspaper or take time out of your busy day. You can hear me trying to be Piers Morgan, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or Susanna.
Susanna.
Yeah. Local news as well. Hannah's gone to New York today. She's gone there for 4 or 5 days with her college on a trip, so that's good. So let's carry on. What have the producers and BBC said about Greg Wallace? So Wallace is being investigated by MasterChef's production company Banijay UK, who takes this matter incredibly seriously. But while the external investigation is ongoing, we won't be commenting on individual allegations, a spokesman for the company said. It is important to know that MasterChef welfare processes are regularly adapted and strengthened, and clear protocols support both crew and members. So basically, they put out a statement to cover their back. There's jokes and there's ulterior motive jokes. Yes, chop chop, 100%, mate. That's what I was saying. So there's actual jokes where people's having a laugh, and then there's jokes where, you know, people say, oh, out of 10, I'd give her 1. Do you know what I mean? Trying to get a response out of someone, and then if that response is deemed that they like that, then that's like a green card in their warped mind to pursue it further. So that was Greg Wallace. So we talked about the doorstep murder. If you missed that, look earlier on in the live stream. A poor 4-year-old kid saw his dad murdered 20 years ago. And it's still unsolved. Still unsolved. So, how's everyone doing today? How's everyone doing? I hope you're enjoying this. Just obviously we've changed our name for the channel. Juicy Killer Monster. Justin Scrap Metal Recovery was too fine a point. It was just about scrap metal, and I don't do scrap metal anymore. I mentioned scrap metal and I talk about it in bits and bobs, but it's not a scrap metal channel anymore. So Juicy Killer Monster here now forever. And we're going to try and do a live stream every morning. See what time works best for everyone. Glad you're all on today. This is really good. Look at the community posts or look for scheduled live streams, because before I do a live stream, it's going to be called live stream news. Before I do a live stream, I'll always schedule it or put a community post up if I haven't scheduled it. So Chop Chop says, bunging allegedly in your news reading and you're covered, Justin. Yes, allegedly. So everything I'm saying is allegedly. Allegedly. Apparently. Right, let's have a look here. Ooh. Ooh. Now let's have a look here. Trong Mai Lan, court upholds death sentence for tycoon in 12 billion fraud case. What is this about? Trong Mai Lan was found guilty of embezzlement, bribery, and violation of banking rules in April. Wow. So it's in Vietnam, this is. A court in Vietnam has upheld a death sentence for a real estate tycoon after rejecting her appeal against a conviction for embezzlement and bribery. Trong Mai Lan, chairwoman of developer Van Ting Pat Holdings Group, was sentenced in April for her role in fraud worth more than £12 billion. This equates to nearly 3% of Vietnam's gross domestic product, GDP, a measure of national wealth, and represents the country's biggest ever fraud case. You ain't getting off that, mate. You go out to Vietnam, right? This is what it's like out there, mate. You go out to Vietnam and you get caught with, say, some cannabis. Say you've got a gram of cannabis on you in Vietnam. They'll put you in jail for 14 years. And they won't let you out unless you pay them 20, 30 grand. Rain goes, Lucy Beck, she'll forget all the words when she gets friends and personal experience, yeah. So this equates to 3% of Vietnam's GDP. So the 67-year-old was found guilty of embezzlement, bribery, and violations of banking rules following a month-long trial. The consequences Lang caused are unprecedented in the history of litigation, and the amount of money embezzled is unprecedentedly large and unrecoverable. The prosecution said, as reported by Vietnam Net. The defendant's actions have affected many aspects of society, the financial market, and the economy. She don't look happy, mate. I'm looking at her face, and she looks like this. Like she's just been caught embezzling 12 billion quid. Allegedly. Apparently. Well, peace to all men and women, and let's hope she's all right at the other side. Lan and her accomplices were charged with illegally controlling the Saigon Joint Stock Commercial Bank, the SCB, between 2012 and 2022 to siphon funds through thousands of ghost companies and by bribing government officials. Mate, she is up to her neck in it. If they've got proof that she has been fiddling the stock markets and stuff like that to siphon funds, and she's been bribing government officials, mate, she is doomed. From early 2018 to October 22, when the state bailed out SCB after a run on its deposits, Lan appropriated large sums by arranging unlawful loans to shell companies, investigators said. Vietnamese news outlet VN Express reported if Lan can return 3/4 of the embezzled money while on death row, it is possible the sentence could be commuted to life imprisonment. Bloody hell. So if she's getting done for embezzling $12 billion or whatever it is, okay, and she's on death row now, so they're saying if you give back 3/4 of what you embezzled, $9 billion, then they'll take it down from death row to a life sentence. Do you know what I mean?
Crikey.
Mate, I'd say to him, look, I'll give you half of it if you let me out scot-free. Not bloody put me on bloody life. eventually, Pete says an Aussie man has been extradited from Italy back to Australia for 2 murders that happened in 1997, allegedly. Catching people out, mate, ain't they? But they thought. See, the thing is, everyone says, oh, if you're going to do crime, if you're going to do crime, do it back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, because no one will find you out because there's no CCTV and DNA. But it don't matter, mate, because all these things are coming out now and people are getting done. They're getting done for like murders they did 20, 30 years ago. I don't know about you. If I was on death row and my name was dragged through the mud and they wanted $9 billion, I mean, if you don't pay it to them, it's going to be took anyway, isn't it? Yeah. It's going to be seized by the government, so you might as well get it knocked down to life.
I think Ren's saying a message to you.
Ren, sorry, I have to get tons of study to do. Bye, Mum. Just have a wonderful day. Thank you, Ren, for your support. And Pete says he was 17 at the time. Wow.
Oh.
So Reuters, the news agency, has reported it has seen documents that show Vietnam Central Bank had, as of April, pumped $24 billion into the SCB, which is the stock market out there, in an unprecedented rescue. In her mitigation, Lan's lawyers argued she has admitted guilt, shown remorse, and paid back part of the money, state media reported. Lan still has the right to request a review. Well, good luck to her. That's what I say. I mean, like I say, mate, she ain't got no hope out there, really. Like I say, if you're caught with a gram of cannabis out in Vietnam, because it's banned out there, if you're caught with it, they'll put you in prison for 14 years for a gram of cannabis. So siphoning $12 billion, mate, you shouldn't stand a chance, do you? Pay back the money, get life, bribe someone later, get released. Yes, Chop Chop, Paul from Chop Chop. See? Yeah, one step at a time, brother, innit? I mean, you think about it, you say, no, I ain't paying that money back. Okay, well, you die and the state will take all your money anyway. So if you just pay back 3/4 of it, get yourself on life, and then bribe someone, a couple of mil, and you're out, mate. Ready to reinvest. So let's have a look here. Let's have a look at this one. So in this next story, before I start this, I'd like to welcome everyone to this live stream. It's our first live stream news. We're going to try and do this every morning. Times may vary, but I will always schedule the night before what time I'm going to be reading the news, so you can all take part if you want to. So before we go on,
thing is, it's only fair these people get caught and prosecuted, because people like us do everything to the book, and then these people are doing this, that, and the other, and getting away with it for years. It's not on, is it?
Yeah. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the weather.
No, why have I come over? Okay, hi guys.
The weather's on the
screen. I know. Oh no, hang on. So the weather today is 8 degrees. What day are we? Tuesday, isn't it?
Today, darling.
Yeah, 8 degrees today, and it's cloudy but no rain. So that is my weather report for today.
Well done, darling. Cloudy with a chance of meatballs, guys. There you go. All right, let's get back on this story. So, electric cars. What's people's thoughts on electric cars? I'm going to read this story about electric cars. I've never been a fan of it, purely because of, you buy an electric car. If the motors go on those hubs, the electric motors, or those batteries go, mate, it's a write-off in it. You ain't going to spend...
The price of them
You ain't going to spend 4 to 6 grand on replacing an electric car battery, are you? Right, so let's see what Jaguar is saying here. So, Jaguar boss defends rebrand after backlash as new electric car revealed. Jaguar boss says, we want to be bold and disruptive. Bold and disruptive?
That's not good, is it?
Shave your head and do a country dance, mate. In its new electric car, which is expected to cost more than 100 grand when the production version hits the market. Everyone got 100 grand for an electric car just so you can save money on the pumps? Unveiled at an event in Miami. I'll tell you what, before we go into this story, I don't know if any of you have seen it. You know, they push the narrative, yeah? They push the narrative of, oh, no, we need to get electric cars to save the environment. The carbon footprint and the damage caused by digging out the lithium for the batteries in like these countries in South America and stuff. Have you seen it where all the damage they've done to the land with big white pools of lithium coming down and contaminating all the water so they can meet the world's demands on the lithium battery supply that's needed? It's terrible. Just to turn around and say, oh no, so you can say not use diesel and petrol, use electric, you know what I mean? But silly.
Defeats the object if they're doing it at the other end, causing havoc.
Chop goes, why don't they make cars that run on water? They have the technology. Yes,
exactly.
You're right. Now, before we get into this story, I'll tell you a story that I heard ages ago. This lady, this was back in around year 2000. She bought a brand new car from Ford. Okay, brand new car from Ford. I think it was like a Mustang or something like that. And she got it delivered and she filled it up with petrol. And she was driving it around and she got like 1,100 miles. Yeah, 1,100 miles to a tank of fuel. And she filmed it, and she's not a mechanic. So she was driving around and she got 1,100 miles to say like $100 of petrol. So she filled up again, put $100 of petrol in, and she drove around again, another 1,100 miles, and she was that impressed. Yeah, she was that impressed. She wrote a letter to Ford. Okay. Now, in that letter, she said to the managing director of Ford, I'd just like to say how amazed I am with the fuel capacity of my brand new Mustang that I bought. I am getting 1,100 miles for $100. Yeah. $100 of fuel. Still, I'm getting 1,100 miles to $100 of fuel. And she was that pleased, she wrote a letter to Ford. Anyway, she didn't hear anything. But 2 days later, do you know what happened? And this goes back to the technology that's already been produced. Yeah. 2 days later, when she woke up, a garage that her car was in her house had been broken into. The bonnet was open. And somebody had took something out of the engine compartment. From then, she went to start her car, and then she was only getting 300 miles to $100. Now, the point behind this is, like Chop said, they've already got the technology. Yeah, they've already got the technology to increase fuel production, but they don't want to give you that technology because they're making too much money out of it in profits. Okay, most things that get invented get bought up for millions, billions of pounds by these companies, and then they just sit on it, put it on a shelf because they don't want it to affect the money they're making from fuel. And the governments are the same, you know, they make a lot of money in the tax. So what they've done is they've broken into her car, and Ford had put this prototype fuel thing in the car to test it, but then they couldn't relocate where they put it. It'd just gone out with one of the cars in production. Now, if she hadn't have written that letter saying thank you for such a great car with good fuel performance, she still have it to this day. But what they did is break back into her garage, took the technology away because it should never have been released, and then sold it for millions of pounds.
That's so bad. It's so corrupt.
Yeah.
The whole world's corrupt. It annoys me.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch these electric cars. So, Adventures in the Ute says, hydrogen cars, I love my 6-litre V8 SS Ute. Can take your electric cars and shove it where the sun don't shine. Yeah, you're right, Pete. And I hate the way they're packaging it as, oh, save the environment, get an electric car. It's absolute rubbish. The lithium, like I say, the mines, the lithium mines, mate. You go online and type in the lithium mines, see the state they've left the land in, mate. Irreparable. Pete said he saw my first all-electric semi-truck yesterday. Hi, James. Yep. Hello, mate. All you wait. Bring back horses.
Yeah.
The roses were better. Yeah, definitely. Right, so let's get into it then. Jaguar wants to be bold and disruptive with new electric car. The luxury vehicle maker's managing director told Sky News the British car maker sparked widespread controversy last month when it unveiled its rebrand ahead of becoming a fully electric brand. Speaking to Sky News, business and economics correspondent Gurpreet Nawan, managing director Rawdon Glover, said, "We've certainly gathered an awful lot of attention over the last few weeks, but now it is really important to talk about this vehicle." Bloody hell. It's called the Type 00. Type 00 has now been unveiled at an event in Miami, Florida, and was described as a concept with bold forms and exuberant proportions to inspire future Jaguars. I don't know about you, all Jaguars look like Aston Martins anyway, didn't they, the new ones? I think the chief designer at Aston Martin went over to Jaguar, and you look at these top Jaguars, they all look like old Aston Martin DB7s. It has been revealed in two colours, Miami pink and London blue. Oh, good one, yeah. Who's going to spend 100 grand on an electric Jaguar and have it pink? Apart from Lucy. And me. Jaguar said the new electric car uses a dedicated platform which should return up to 478 miles of range, depending on circumstances, while rapid charging will add 200 miles of charge in 15 minutes. Yeah, that's not going to knacker the batteries up, is it? Rapid charging. The production-ready version of the Type 00, which will be made in the UK, is set to be revealed late in 2025. And although prices have not yet been confirmed, it is expected to cost more than £100,000, which I think in Australia is $200,000 Australian. In America, it'd be 150,000, 140,000 American dollar. Mr. Glover added to Sky News, "We need to make sure Jaguar is relevant, is desirable, is future-proof for the next 90 years of its history." They're crazy. Future-proof for the next 90 years of its history. The batteries will run out in 5 years. At the moment, the industry is going through huge disruption. Technology changes as we all figure out exactly what an electrified world means for our brand. More money, mate. That's what they want.
More destruction.
At Jaguar, if we look to what we think, we have to make a really bold step forward. But actually, the step we're going to take is completely keeping an ethos with the brand. Mate, don't believe the hype, people. Don't believe the hype. I watch car programs all the time. Somebody's got one of these electric Porsches, yeah? And it's got the main batteries that run the car, and then it's got the battery, you know, like what would normally be your car battery for starting the car and that. Well, they're renowned, these little batteries that start your car, they're renowned for going wrong, okay? And Porsche charge you, I think it was like £1,500 for what is basically a lithium version of a 12-volt battery. £1,500. And there's like a 3-month wait on back order. Now, the thing is, when that battery goes, you can't get into the car. You can't do nothing. You can't move it. And you have to use the key under the handle to unlock it manually. And even if you get an AA guy out, he can't put his power pack on and jump it because it just doesn't work like that. So you're absolutely screwed. Absolutely screwed with these electric cars. And the thing is, they've got no resale market either. There's no second-hand market for them. So if somebody's bought, it's like, you know, when you buy an iPhone. Yeah, Pete says these people in the US converting Teslas to Chevrolet V8s. Yeah. What was I saying? You know, electric cars. You buy an electric car, so you know over here they got like the cheaper version, Nissan Leaf. Okay. People buy it, and it starts off with a range of about 200-300 miles. Yeah. Well, after 3-4 years or whatever, the batteries go down to being like 60% efficient. So then what it means is when it's fully charged, it can only do a range of about 80 miles. Yeah. And then it's not going to be 80 miles because the batteries are knackered. Now, if you say you really like that car and you want to replace the battery pack on it, just for the battery alone is going to be about £4,000. Plus you've got to find someone willing to fit it. And these batteries weigh loads. Like you can't just pick it up and put a battery in. A proper kit to do it. So, and it basically means you haven't got a resale market, which then in turn goes against the whole it's good for the environment, because it's bad for the environment because they're mining all the lithium in these South American countries, ruining the landscape, contaminating the water to get the lithium for the demand for the lithium batteries. And then they make a car that's useless as soon as its batteries degrade, and people just get rid of it, and it ends up getting crushed and everything else. It's no good, is it?
No.
What's the point in that? So, thank you for joining us today. This is our first live stream news, something new for you all. I wanted to do this for a while, but I finally got around to doing it. Welcome to our channel, Juicy Killer Monster. I'm Justin.
And I'm Lucy.
Together we are
Juicy.
See what we did there? A Killer Monster, and it just sounds rad, and it's a cool name. So that's why we're called
And it
Juicy
allows
Killer
him
Monster.
to be just as crazy as he always is.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be restricted with his content.
Yeah, I don't want to be restricted with my content. I am the niche. The videos we produce are the niche.
I am the niche.
You don't know, I am the niche. Yes, I am the niche. But yeah, just a quick one while we're on that. So our channel is about loads of different things. Loads of different things, okay? Read the description. Look at the advert for the channel I've just put out there. I'm not going to bore you with it now, but have a good look and it tells you everything we're about. But basically, we'll be producing shorts for entertainment and comedy value. We're producing videos to help people make money and give answers to questions that they need. Valuable information, which is either educational, entertaining, or both. And our live streams now are going to be the morning news read out by me with my weather girl.
Yay!
Miss
I'm the
Deborah
weather girl,
McGee.
apparently.
Deborah McGee. Adventures as people in the air. Pete says people buy X-Taxis which were hybrid Toyota Camrys, batteries would be flogged out. Yeah, I'll tell you one thing as well. Keep an eye on we got a bed turning up, so I'm looking at the CCTV as well. I'll tell you one thing else about those batteries out of electric cars is, you know, like a 12-volt lead acid battery, when you go to the scrapyard, you take it in, you get paid for it, okay? Those lithium batteries can't be recycled. Yeah, they cannot be recycled, or if they can, it costs a lot of money and it's not worth it because it's layers of plastic glue, lithium plastic glue. Now, if you turn up at the scrapyard with a lithium battery pack, they won't pay you money and they will charge you to dispose of it. You can't even go into the scrapyard with one of those little electric, you know, those little electric push scooters. Yeah. If you weigh that in at a scrapyard, if you leave the battery in, okay, and they don't see it or this or that, and it gets picked up for the people they sell the metal to, they get fined £250 for every lithium battery gets found. If you put a lithium battery in, they won't pay you your money at the scrapyard until you've collected that lithium battery. It's happened to me. I put 7 scooters in, thought all the batteries were out, but one of them had a battery pack in. Wouldn't pay me from a whole load of scrap metal until I turned up and took the lithium battery because it causes fires on the yard. It affects their business. They get fined, and they got like these little vapes. You see these little vapes, lithium batteries and the vapes, yeah. If one of them get found in any of the scrap at a scrapyard, they'll get fined 250 quid.
That is nuts, isn't it?
Pete says our shorts are great. Thank you very much, Pete.
They're funny, aren't they?
Can you stand back a bit?
They are funny. It all comes. It's mainly Justin's ideas, and then he tries to convince me to like do it as well.
She's good.
So I end up doing it,
Yeah.
and it's a laugh. It's funny.
So, its name, the vapes, he said, can you put it in a bin? Well, technically, no. Technically, you're not supposed to put this in any rubbish at all. If you put this in the bin in your house, any vape, anything with a lithium battery, if you put it in the bin, it's a fire hazard. So it could cause a fire in your bin in your house. It can cause a fire in your bin outside. And the bin men that pick it up and chuck it on the back, if it's crushed and it ignites, it can set light to the bin truck. There's drop-off points. If you look online, most vape shops, this is the top tip, most vape shops have a used vape drop-off point.
I didn't know that.
And if you go to the tip now, you go to your local recycling centre or something, they've got special places for you to put any kind of lithium battery. All right. A drag strip in Queensland have banned electric cars from racing.
Wow.
I need to look at that, Dom. You need to look at that.
I'm looking. Don't panic.
Right, we're going to go for one more story,
What's
I
that
think.
person at the bottom said?
I've just...
There's a last message.
Where'd you bin it?
Oh, where'd you bin it?
I responsibly get rid of all my vapes and through the proper channels. Right, let's have a look here. Let's have a look at this one, shall we? Is that live? Right, so let's talk about inheritance and money blog, okay? The gifting rules that allow you to navigate inheritance tax. Gifting while you're alive can help reduce the amount of inheritance tax paid in your estate after you die. And we've outlined the rules in this week's basically feature. Read this and the rest of today's personal finance consumer news below. Well, that was rubbish, wasn't it? That was a bit of a no-go, mate. Let's have a look.
You clicked the live one, that's
yeah. Let's have a look at this. Let's talk about Kate, Princess of Wales, isn't she?
Yeah.
Keep an eye out for the bed down.
Oh.
Well, no, you're not, because you got your back to the CCTV, so you can't actually see when the bed's coming. I see heaps on the construction sites. Tradies just Vivia vapes on the ground. Yeah, it's bad, man. From April, you have to pay tax on EVs. Yeah, I tell you what they'll do. Going back to these EVs quickly, what they will do is they'll say, yeah, come in, you don't got to pay no road tax, yeah, cheap charging. And then when they've got enough people on it, you remember the LPG, when they bought LPG out? Get an LPG conversion on your car, cheap fuel, it's fine, this, that, and everything else, yeah? They get everyone in, and then as soon as people are reliant on it, make up an excuse why they got to put the price up, and then everyone's just as worse as they were before, but now they've got a rubbish electric vehicle they can't shift. I mean, heavens forbid, batteries aside, you imagine crashing one of those electric vehicles. Imagine crashing it and having to replace the electric motors. Or you have a crash. You have a crash.
Yeah, I'll do it. Molly, come in.
Sorry, we just got the dog delivered and the dog is gobbing up. You don't get this on any other news channel, do you? Yeah, and they get all those electric... imagine if you're in a crash and your electric battery's pierced and your motor's bent or warped, you've got to get it all changed, haven't you? You've got to get it all changed. I wouldn't want to be doing that. Let's have a look. Chop Chop says, I have bags of batteries from toys we have sold on eBay because you can't post them. And now and then the small lithium explode. They really go bang. Yeah, I've seen on the news things that happen, mate. Yeah, you see it. People buy one of these lithium scooters from eBay or another company. Yeah, they just get it. It's not properly regulated, or it's put together cheaply. They charge it in their home. You see it on people's CCTV. It completely flash bangs, blows up, and just burns the whole house down. We saw one in the north of England not so long ago that happened to, and the whole family were out of their house. It's all burnt to buggery. God, this dog. I've got this little Jack Russell Yorkshire Terrier. I love him to bits, right? But I tell you what, he don't stop barking when there's other people there. Eventually, yeah, they write him off. Yeah, you're right. So yeah, that's interesting, Paul. So I never knew it was even like that. So I have bags of batteries from toys we have sold on eBay because you can't post them now, and then the small lithium explode when they really go bang. It's terrible, isn't it? I mean, it's not a safe technology, is it? Let's be honest. It's not a safe technology. I mean, I've seen those lithium batteries go up. In the scrapyards, I've seen it where, you know, somebody's chucked in one of these electric scooters and it's gone in the middle of the scrap and set up the whole yard. Now, it actually does, yeah, But what it actually does is it's a blessing for the scrapyard in a way, because what it does, it burns all the plastic and rubber off of light iron, and it turns it into shearing steel, which they get a higher grade for. But it's bad in the sense that it could set light to the whole yard, bad for the environment and everything else. But you can't odds it. Can you close the door, Luce? And yeah, we just got a new mattress coming through, a new headboard, a new bed, and they're bringing it upstairs. So after this, I've got to build a double bed and put it in Hannah's room, who's conveniently just sloped off to New York for 4 or 5 days. And now me and Emma have got to build a bed, but I'll put a video out of that bed. So I'll just wait till all the noise goes down and then we'll carry on. Dave Finance, bet your neighbours love the Jack Russell. Yeah, he's more of a Yorkshire Terrier, Jack Russell cross. He's got all the Yorkie colours. I've got a short coming out of him this morning at about 10 o'clock. So every day on this channel, I try to put a nice short out in the morning, something funny or something relaxing just to cheer up your day. And then a video comes out at 1 o'clock, something we can help you answer questions to. And now, live stream news every morning, or as many mornings as possible. And if you just joined us, we're going to try and do this every morning, if not every most. And I'll always schedule the night before when I'm going to do a live stream. So if you want to know if I'm doing a live stream in the morning, check the night before or on a community post. Pete says, that happened here. A mother bought a second-hand scooter and put it on charge and it exploded and burnt their house down right before Christmas last year. Just take that in, man. Do you know what I mean? That is bad, isn't it? That is bad. Imagine you just get little Johnny or little Janie a scooter, you plug it in, because it's not like a push bike, is it? Because it's got the battery. And you plug it in and the bloody thing goes bang and sets your house on fire just before Christmas. And all you're trying to do is get a toy for your kid. Now, I don't know if you've ever seen these lithium batteries, right? I don't know if you've ever seen these lithium batteries, but it is crazy how they're put together. So imagine just a AA battery. You know those AA normal batteries you get, yeah? The old ones that you normally use. Imagine them, 100 of them together, or say 200 of those batteries all in a line, together, all like soldered at the top, soldered to the bottom, soldered to the top, all put together in a big pack with a plastic outline, and they got lithium inside them instead of lead acid. Yeah, and that is what those batteries are. So you can imagine them going off. It's like a pre-packed firework. You know those fireworks you get the boxes where they go. That's what happens when one catches a light, because they're cheaply made. They ain't made to any good standard. One of them goes pop, mate. And then you basically let off a firework in your house through no fault of your own. Chop Chop says, let the dog bark. It lets random door knockers know that the house has a dog. Yeah, you're right, Chop Chop. But the thing is, we know who these people are. They're delivering Hannah's double bed. Plus, I'm doing world news. A live stream news. How many news channels have beds delivered halfway through their report? I knew this would happen. And the dog would bark, and I knew that would happen as well. So let me have a sip. Let me water, mate. We're going to read one more story. So Princess of Wales Kate will join royals for Qatari state visit, but Queen to miss start over health reasons. It is the latest event the Queen has missed in recent weeks since contracting the chest infection after a long-haul trip to Australia and Samoa in October. You've got a picture of Kate there. The Queen is to miss the ceremonial welcome during the Qatari state visit on Tuesday due to the lingering side effects of a chest infection. The event will take place outdoors on Horse Guards Parade in central London, where the King and the Prince and Princess of Wales will join the Emir of Qatar and his wife. Charles William, Kate and the guests will later take part in a carriage ride back to Buckingham Palace, oh boy, and attend a lunch and a visit a picture gallery exhibition in the royal residence. Oh dear boy. The palace said Camilla 77 will attend some elements of the day, including the lunch. Oh, so she's all right for the lunch then, mate. She's all right for the lunch. Can't make anything else. Can't stand there on ceremony, but give me a bit of lunch. What's she having? A co-op meal deal. And she also hopes to view the exhibition. In the evening, the Queen will join the King and their guests for photographs and the start of the state banquet and attend the banquet itself. So let's get it straight. Camilla can't attend the ceremonial duties, but she can attend lunch and dinner when there's drinks and partying involved. Oh dear boy, it's a hell of a shame her chest is that bad for the ceremonial bit, but a bit of lunch and dinner is just fantastic, oh boy. Chop Chop goes, need a jingle. Do you think the King and Queen bring back 200 ciggies? Oh, I don't know, mate. Adventures New, can't stand the Camilla, bloody old hag. Woo! My mum was a fan of Diana, mate, so she hates Camilla. Apparently, allegedly. So let's have a look. She will take a short break before dinner while guests are being met and receiving line. So she's not even going to meet her guests. She will take a short break before dinner while guests are being met in a receiving line. So once again, she can't be asked to meet people, but she can have a little. I'm going to have a nap. Yeah, I'm going to have a little nap just before dinner, and then I'll get on the squash, like, you know what I mean. It is understood she is dealing with diminished reserves of energy, as well as other lingering side effects of the chest infection. Doctors have advised Camilla to take time to rest and recover fully. The Queen previously missed the Royal Variety performance on 22nd of November due to some lingering post-viral symptoms of the infection. In a statement issued before the event, she said she had withdrawn with great regret. The King 75 attended the event, which was hosted by comedian Ala Carr and actress Amanda Holden. Camilla was also forced to skip remembrance events earlier in November. No bloody buffet, mate, that's why. No buffet, no booze. Sorry, boy, surely can't make it. She did not attend the Royal British Legion Festivals of Remembrance nor the Remembrance Day service at the Cenotaph, instead marking the occasion privately at home. With a sherry, no doubt. However, she did host a Booker Prize reception at Clarence House in mid-November, where she told author Percival Everett, "I think I'm on the mend, but these things always take a bit of time to get rid of." You think you've got rid of it, and then you just sort of hang on for a little bit, but hopefully I'm on the mend now, she added. The Queen contracted the chest infection after a long-haul trip to Australia and Samoa in October. She's blaming Australia, Pete. Pete couldn't hate her enough already, and now she's blaming the chest problem on going to Australia and Samoa, Pete. What do we think of that, mate? Kastari's state visit is Kate's first as part of her gradual return to public duty since her cancer diagnosis. The princess will meet Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani and his wife, Sheikha Jawah bint Hamad bin Shuami Al Thani, and accompany them to parade ground to the Waiting King senior government figures. However, Kate will not be attending the banquet in the evening, but William will be there. So, Camilla, what are you doing, mate? Camilla is on the sauce and on the buffets and on the food. But come to any kind of ceremony, mate, she's not there. She's out of it. She's gone.
Oh, Pete's getting angry at Camilla.
Pete goes, "Don't want the old nag here. They never came to Melbourne, only Sydney." So Pete is one of our followers from Australia. Check him out, Adventures in a Ute. Had a really cool video last night, cruising through Melbourne. Thank you, Pete. Yes, mate. What can we say? What can we say that we ain't already said and heard 100 times, mate? But my mum was a fan of Diana. She never liked Camilla. And you look into it, I don't know if you ever watched The Crown. I think the best way to sum up the royal family, even though parts are fictional, is to watch The Crown on Netflix, because that really opens
It's
it up.
really good.
After watching it, I decided my favourite royal was Margaret, the Queen's sister, just because she was on it, mate. She didn't care. The only thing she cared about was making her sister look bad, which she tried not to. But she liked to party, bless her. She liked to party. Well, guys, I'm going to finish off with the weather. So the weather today is 8 degrees during the day, 5 degrees in the evening, and a chance of rain at 5%. Wind speed is southerly, southwesterly.
You're doing my job.
Never eat shredded wheat. Southwesterly at 3 miles per hour, going to a westerly wind at 3 miles per hour. I hope you enjoyed today's news live stream. Remember, we put out a short most mornings, something comedy to cheer you up, have a laugh, and we put a informative video trying to help you guys answer any of your questions every afternoon about 1 o'clock. We now do our news live stream, so live stream news, current day's events and topics that you haven't got time to read and sit down and watch because you're at work, but you can listen to us go on about it in a relaxed format with your weather girl and Piers Morgan, Susanna Reid, Crossbow Pig.
You said it, not me.
Which is me. So, guys, stinking hot here today, 30 degrees, says Pete, and my parents are British and don't like the royal family.
A lot of people don't like them, to be honest.
Yeah.
They're not very popular anymore. I wouldn't be surprised if the whole royal family disintegrated eventually.
Well, that's what happens, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's
they're not very popular.
That's why America's got a president. You know, it's democracy, isn't it? Where we got a royal family, and then the royal family then has a government to deal with its politics, because the royal family is above politics. You know that they say that the royal family say that the royal family are above politics, and that's why they've got a government, one to do all the work for them, and the government acts on behalf of the royal family. Hence why every time there's a new prime minister in the UK, the first thing they have to do is see the Queen, or the King now, see the King to formally be offered the job of Prime Minister and to formally accept it and to govern in his name.
The only thing is, the country make a lot of money from the royal family. There's a lot of money involved, and it brings a lot of money to the country. So it would take a lot for them to,
Not really. I don't agree with that. I know they bring in investment to the country by all the state events they do and stuff like that, but don't forget whose money they're spending to go on these state events. So it's give and take, guys, isn't it? I'll leave you with that thought. Pete says Justin and Lucy for King and Queen. Yeah, but Pete, who's the king and who'll be the queen? Woo! Take care, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for joining today's live. If you're watching this on replay, like I said, we will put a schedule for every live stream we do. We'll try and do them most mornings, see how we get on. But take care, Pete. And if you want to know if we're doing a live stream for the next morning, look at our scheduled live streams, normally about 8-ish, 9 o'clock-ish, if I can't get my ass out of bed in time. Take care, and I'll see you later.
See you later.
Thank you, and bye.
Bye.